And so we are on our way. Want to just tell us where we're going?
Well, we're knocking on doors today in Precinct 9, and I'm first going to start off on Eastman Street, I believe, which is an area that I left off yesterday.
Okay.
I knock on doors, at least I try to, every day.
Okay.
Sometimes you get more doors than others, and as I'm sure you're aware, the district encompasses 6 precincts in Andover and 4 in Lawrence and 2 in Tewksbury. So it's not just Andover that we're knocking on doors, we're all over the district.
Okay.
So.
Now, I was reading about your bio, and it's really interesting. Can you talk a little bit about, your father and Cuba and him being a political prisoner and escaping for his life? And that sounds like a really interesting story.
Yeah, it is an interesting story. In fact, he should probably be the candidate. He'd probably make a better candidate than me. But, my dad was a political prisoner in Cuba in the late 50s. He was an anti-Castro revolutionary. And he went to the university in Cuba, in Havana, and he was jailed for a period of time. And he was released at some point. But during, or I should say after the Bay of Pigs, they started rounding up some anti-government factions. He was out of prison at this time, but he was sort of tipped off as he was in hiding in different places, and tipped off about what was going on, and he essentially escaped to a friendly embassy. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was Uruguay. And he ended up coming to the United States after being released to the Uruguayan embassy, then went to the American embassy, I believe, or I think then they were flown to Mexico if I'm not mistaken. But in any event, he escaped Cuba to a friendly embassy and subsequently made his way to the United States, where he was in the military here for a period of time, and that's how we started here in the United States. And then he was here for a number of years before my mother ended up joining him. They were actually married by proxy while she was still in Cuba, and she came over, and my brother and sister and I were all born here. After that, I'm the oldest of 3. There's nothing glamorous about it, Mike.
So that's surprising to me. You're saying that most voters are not expressing to you what issues are on their minds, what are important to them, no anger or frustration over the economy or anything like that?
Well, no, I didn't say that. You hit a lot of doors.
Yeah.
So a lot of people just want to know that you're running, they appreciate getting literature, and you move on. But that's not to say that there are not voters who do express their opinion. Quite frankly, most of them express their opinion as opposed to asking you your opinion. So what I find is that the voters that I've been home are really frustrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, very frustrated. So I've done this enough that I have a pretty good idea when people are home and when they're not, and I just leave them a note and keep on going.
I hear music playing somewhere. I don't know where that's coming from. Now, and so your father, obviously, that story must have shaped your political philosophy and your love of freedom and liberty.
Absolutely. It's probably the most important thing, actually, and that's the lens by which I look at every issue.
Right.
And I think that's pretty clear on my website, in my literature. So, and it's understandable, everyone's life experiences sort of shape who they are and what they believe, and no difference. Obviously, it's a very profound thing in my life and continues to be.
Right.
Hi, sir. How are you?
Good. What's up?
Sorry to bother you. My name is Sal Tabit, and I'm running for state representative in the fall.
Yeah.
I'm knocking on doors, introducing myself, and leaving some literature if you wouldn't mind taking a look. I've got a website there, a phone number. If you have any specific issues or questions, please feel free to give me a call.
I will do that if I have any.
And it's a seat that's currently held by Barry Feingold. He's vacating it and running for state senate.
Yeah.
I happen to be running as a Republican in the fall, but there are a number of other people running as well, and I just hope you'll consider me.
Okay.
All right?
Good.
Thank you very
Sal,
much. Nice meeting
good
you.
luck
Have a
to
nice
you.
afternoon. Thank you.
You also said on your website that you believe this country is losing liberty every day.
Did I say that?
Something to that effect.
No, that sounds like me. Yeah,
Slowly slipping
actually,
away.
I do. I mean, if you look at our government at all levels,
Right.
local, state, and federal, they are just more intrusive in our everyday lives.
Right.
You know, I'm a 41-year-old father of two, married with a business and a career. I think I know what's best for my family. I think I know what's best for my business. I certainly think I know what's best for me. And I don't need the government to tell me.
Right.
So if I want to give my daughter a soda when I feel like giving it to her, I should be able to do so.
Don't move to San Francisco.
Oh, good Lord.
They're looking to ban soda.
Well, it's crazy. If I moved to San Francisco, maybe I could run against Nancy Pelosi. Although I don't think I'd be very successful, unfortunately. They seem to be the only ones who are supportive of her policies these days. I thought I heard somebody. Maybe not.
And you also said something to the effect of you felt like you were always complaining and you felt like it was about time to stop complaining and do something about it. In terms of your frustration with government.
Sure. Well,
How long have you felt that way?
probably all my life. No, I am a complainer. I think most people like to complain. But I did this once before. I don't know if you realize.
98?
I ran in 98 against the incumbent who was then
Feingold.
Yeah, Barry Feingold. And I wasn't particularly successful, obviously. And I never thought I'd do this again. But it's a new day. It's a new opportunity. I have deep-seated roots in the community now. I've just been here a lot longer. Got a business in the area. My kids go to school here. We're property owners. It just makes a big difference.
Right.
And in fact, this time around, I'm getting support from a lot of people and areas in town that I never thought that I would have gotten support from, and I certainly wouldn't have gotten it 12 years ago. So I ran then, and I thought I'd do it one more time. Like I said, I'm 41 years old, so I ran 12 years ago. I lost then. If I lose this time, I will at least have earned my right to complain.
Right.
And that's it.
Is there a political candidate that you most identify with in terms of their political philosophy, like a Scott Brown or Ronald Reagan or whoever?
Winston Churchill, maybe?
Really? Okay.
Yeah, Winston Churchill. Look, I don't believe in idolatry, and I don't idolize any political leader.
Right.
I'm my own person. I have my own philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
That's not to say that I don't love Ronald Reagan, because I do, and I love what he stood for, and I love most of his policies. But yeah, we're on the front.
Okay.
But you know what? I'm sort of marking my own territory and
Right.
staking out my own positions.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if there's any sort of person that I really look up to, at least politically, it's Winston Churchill.
Okay. What are the... oh, go ahead.
So we're done with Eastman Road.
Okay.
So we'll move on to the next place. What are you going to say? I'm sorry.
What are the most important issues that, to you as a candidate in this district?
Well, I mean, I think there are several. Obviously, the theme of liberty is important to me, and the issue of government intrusion. I mean, we have Beacon Hill sending down all sorts of unfunded mandates to cities and towns as to what they have to do, and yet cutting funding by which to do it with. So I think that local issues are important. I mean, we are in such dire straits right now, and our economy is so bad
Mm-hmm.
that there are a whole host of issues.
Mm-hmm.
You know?